Hi, my name is Eduardo Benitez. I'm currently studying to become a heavy equipment mechanic. I'm also pursuing my associate's degree in mechanized agriculture. But these should hopefully only take me 2 years to complete. But I am pursuing additional certifications in welding and in semi operations like semi HVAC trailers and semi air brakes. The reason I'm pursuing becoming a welder is just something I've always enjoyed. I like merging two pieces of metal to make stuff like this rose was originally just sheet metal that I cut by hand, plasma cutted this leaf, and just cut a piece of barbed wire to make this rose. I like making stuff like as simple as a rose, but I've also worked on more complicated stuff like expanding a barn. Back in high school, helped on expanding a barn, and also make pens for cows, sheep, and goats. I don't really like working around animals, but I love working on barns and stuff like that. I just like building stuff, seeing how raw pieces of metal started off as just tubing and sheet metal and somehow became a barn after cutting, bending, and welding them together. You see what used to be just a pile of metal become an actual building. I've also learned back in high school. I learned how to work on small stuff like tractors. I learned how to do oil changes, identify what's wrong with them. Yes, it was older equipment, but I learned how to work on them. The reason I chose to become a heavy equipment mechanic, I've always liked working on engines, but I had a big interest on heavy equipment like construction equipment that can move thousands of pounds, even millions of pounds if you're working on wheel loaders. Wheel loaders can move millions of pounds in one load. And I've always been surprised by wheel loaders because them themselves weigh almost 1,000,000 pounds, and then with a million pounds of dirt on top of them, that's almost 2 million pounds, and they can still go like 30 miles per hour. Not too fast, but when you weigh 2 million pounds, it's kind of surprising you can go that fast. I also like working on things like skid steers, something so small, but it can do a lot of work. Bulldozers, they can move a lot of dirt. They're something in theory, there's something really small that can get a lot of work done, and they really don't have a limit. They do, obviously. You will break them, but you fix them and they keep going. I'm also Mexican and Catholic. I was actually baptized when I was 3, kind of later on in life, but not the oldest, I guess. This is my second year at Ridley College. I just completed my first year, and just got my first certification as a heavy equipment mechanic. I've also been dipping my toes in this field. I started working more in heavy diesel equipment. Last summer, I worked in at Quinn, or Caterpillar as it's known, or popularly known, on just working on tractors, trailers, a little bit of everything, and I've been enjoying. I am cutting it a little close, so I will end the video here. Thanks for your time.